Welcome to your February 2022 horoscope. My name is Cailin, and today I'm going to be covering the major transits for the month ahead using tropical astrology and the whole sign system. I strongly recommend that you watch your horoscope for your ascendant sign first and foremost, and that is because the ascendant sign will be the most accurate for you overall, generally speaking. Having said that, the sun sign horoscope will tell you more about your life goals and your career, whereas the moon sign horoscope will pertain more to your family and your living circumstances. So if you've got time to watch all three, go for it. Now, lastly, before I get into your horoscope, I just wanted to let you know that I still have my 2022 yearly horoscopes available for purchase, so I will leave a link in the description box below. And now let's get into your horoscope. Hi Leo, Sun, Moon and Risings. Welcome to your February 2022 horoscope. Before I get into your reading today, I just wanted to pull an animal spirit totem card just to see what energies will be with you for the month ahead. And we've got the dolphin. So dolphins are renowned for their abilities to communicate, and they are very playful creatures as well. So this indicates to me that there may be an opportunity here for you to socialize and make some new friends. At the very least, this would be a very good month for you to communicate something that has been on your mind, and this could be something that you have been avoiding discussing with another person, but it could be a conversation that you know needs to be had. Now, on the 1st of February, we're going to see a new moon in Aquarius take place at 12 degrees in your 7th house, and it will be in a close conjunction with Saturn at 15 degrees. This new moon will be making a square to Uranus in Taurus, which will be almost at 11 degrees in your 10th house. So this new moon will actually be conjunct the ruler of its new moon and squaring its other ruler. So that indicates to me that there could be a little bit of a rocky start with regard to this new chapter which is starting in your life, and that's because you may feel like you're being pulled in two different directions. So with the new moon indicating a new chapter commencing somewhere in your life, this will be with regard to a new partnership or relationship. Now we want to look at what Saturn rules in your chart. So Saturn rules your 6th house as well as your 7th house. So first and foremost, this could be a new working relationship which is taking place. And that is because the 6th house is connected to work, and Saturn is also representative of our career. So perhaps you will be signing a contract to either accept a new position at work. There could be some new responsibilities that you were taking on, or you could be going into a new workplace altogether. Now, you could actually be going into business with another person, and this could be someone with whom there is quite an age gap, or this individual could be more experienced than you in some way, shape, or form. And that is because Saturn represents someone who is either elderly or someone who has a lot of experience. This person could simply be a Capricorn though, having said that. Now, on a different level, you could be entering into a new romantic relationship with another person, or this could be a new friendship. Now, again, looking at Saturn's influence here, there could be some sort of heavy commitment or responsibility that you feel towards this other person. Or this could just be a very, very deep relationship which is built on having the same principles, and perhaps the two of you see each other as your respective life partner. So this conjunction with Saturn indicates that there's some sort of really serious element to this relationship or to the dynamic in this partnership. Now, the 7th house is representative of our commitments and our promises and our contracts that we make and that we have with other people. So even if there's not a new partnership that is taking place around this point in time, it could be that you are making a very serious promise or commitment to a person who is already in your life. Now, given that this new moon is conjunct Saturn, this promise or this commitment could take on some sort of big responsibility or some sort of legal dynamic to it. So maybe you are signing actual contracts which are legally binding with another person. Now, given that this new moon is squaring Uranus in Taurus in your 10th house, this indicates that there could be some sort of trade-off here with your reputation. And that is because the 10th house is connected to your reputation, your career, and how the public see you. So this new commitment that you are taking on, whether this is a new relationship, a new business partnership, a new client, or a promise that you're making to another person, this could basically throw people off in some way. So maybe this new partnership that you are entering into, or this new promise that you have made, is somewhat at odds with what your existing reputation is like, and maybe this is making people see you in a different light, or perhaps they just don't really understand why you have made this decision or why you have made this commitment. I just want to point out that this new moon will actually be making a semi-sextile to Venus in Capricorn, which is in your 6th house. So this indicates that there is some sort of help that is coming through, or some sort of benefit to you in this situation. Now, on the 9th of February, we are going to see Mars in Capricorn in your 6th house, making a trine to Uranus in Taurus in your 10th house. So given that Mars is a very fast-moving planet, and Uranus is also associated with things happening very quickly, if not unexpectedly, there could be some sort of acceleration with regard to your career. So maybe you are experiencing a sudden rise through the ranks. Maybe there is a promotion which has come out of left field. Maybe there were a few people ahead of you who you feel should have been up for this promotion first, and now somehow you're like skipping the queue. Now, given that we've got Mars ruling over your 4th house, which is Scorpio, this new dynamic that your career is taking on, which is very positive for you, could be thanks to a change in your family life or with regard to your living circumstances. Now, another way that this could play out is that you could be receiving some assistance from a family member or from a flatmate. So again, if we're using your career as an example, maybe the only way that you would be able to take on this new position in your workplace, or even if you're self-employed, could be if you have someone to look after your children or to look after your property. So maybe they need to house sit for you. Now, the inverse of this situation could be playing out for you. So maybe your living circumstances are going to improve or change somehow, and this could be due to a work opportunity. Now, this transit doesn't just need to impact you on the career front. Another way that this could play out is that you may experience some sort of sudden improvement with regard to your public reputation. And this could be related to some sort of ethical stance that you have taken, or this could be with regard to your spiritual or to your religious commitments. And I'm saying this because Mars rules over your 9th house, and the 9th house is connected to your moral code, as well as your spiritual, your religious, and your political beliefs. Now, that brings me to politics. So if you have been looking to become the face of some kind of political party, or have extra responsibilities or duties within a political party or campaign, you may receive the go-ahead to take these responsibilities on. Now, the 6th house in astrology is connected to your health, and the 10th house in astrology is connected to your status in life. So basically, the 10th house can represent you having a change in your health status. And I'm saying this because Mars trine Uranus in your 10th house indicates that you may have solved some kind of problem or issue with your health. And that is because Mars is connected to coming up with a strategy, and it is very good at problem solving. And the 6th house doesn't just represent our health, it also represents problems and conflict or issues. So the trine aspect in astrology is always a very, very beneficial aspect. So given that Uranus is in your 10th house, which represents your status, this can indicate a sudden change in your status with regard to your health. So a way that this could play out is that a health issue or ailment could dissipate or resolve itself quite abruptly, or this could be due to some sort of new innovative treatment that you have tried, or perhaps it has dissipated very, very quickly, and maybe you are setting some sort of new record for this treatment working. Another way that this could play out is that you could go from being unhealthy or struggling with some sort of health issue to no longer having this health problem. I just want you guys to remember that this is a general reading, so this reading will impact all of you in differing ways. It will really depend on your own personal natal chart. Now, on the 11th/12th of February, depending where you live in the world, we will see Mercury and Pluto form a conjunction at 27 degrees in your 6th house. So again, we're seeing your 6th house, which represents your work, your daily habits, and your health being activated here. Now, I just want you to know that Mercury stationed direct at the beginning of the month, which means that we are still in the post-shadow period, but still this is positive for you guys. This is the third and final time that Mercury and Pluto will be making this conjunction. This conjunction occurred at the end of December and at the end of January, so essentially you could be revisiting themes which occurred around the end of December in 2021. Given that this is taking place in your 6th house and Mercury rules over your 2nd house, which represents food, you could have made some pretty radical changes with regard to your diet or to your eating habits. So perhaps you have implemented some sort of new habit or routine when it comes to food, and some of you may have cut out certain foods, or you may have introduced a new diet which is more healthy for you. And this could have a very, very transformative impact on your psychological health. And I'm saying this because Pluto rules over your 4th house, and the 4th house is connected to our psychological foundation. Another way that this conjunction can play out is that you may have identified the root cause of an issue that you have been experiencing when it comes to your money management or to your spending habits. And I'm saying this because Mercury rules over your 2nd house, which represents your finances and your resources. Now, Mercury also rules over your 11th house, which represents your investments and your friendships. So again, you may have identified the root cause behind issues that you have within certain friendships, or issues that you have had with investing in your long-term goals and plans for the future. Now, another way that this conjunction can play out is that you may be getting ready to confront someone in a very big way. And I'm saying this because the 6th house in astrology is connected to conflicts. And we've got Mercury ruling over your 11th house, which represents friendships, acquaintances, business relationships, and it also represents your older siblings. Now, the 11th house is also connected to communities and groups, and some of you Leos may be calling out a friend or a group or a community that you are a part of, and perhaps you are confronting this person or this community about the management of finances or resources. Pluto is representative of anything which is toxic or poisonous. So perhaps you are calling out toxicity within a community or within your friendship group. Now, the 11th house is also connected to really, really large corporations, and Pluto can represent obscene amounts of wealth and people who are at the very top of the food chain, or people who are very, very powerful. So some of you Leos may be actually organizing a class action as represented by Mercury ruling over your 11th house, and maybe you are taking on some sort of big, powerful person in a corporation or in your work industry. Now, on the 16th of February, we are going to see a full moon take place in your 1st house at 27 degrees, and it will be making an in conjunction to Pluto in Capricorn in your 6th house. So this can see there being a major chapter coming to a close in your personal life. And this could be connected to your work or to career. And I'm saying this because the ruler of the full moon is the sun. The sun is in Aquarius, and we also have Saturn in Aquarius at 17 degrees. So maybe you have achieved a life goal or something big in your life. Given that the sun is with Saturn, maybe you have come to the end of a very long and difficult journey. So maybe there's some sort of hardship which is finally dissipating in your life. Now, given that this full moon is making an in conjunction to Pluto in Capricorn in your 6th house, maybe you are receiving a subpar response from your family with regard to the end of this chapter in your life. And that's because Pluto rules over your 4th house, which represents your family. And in conjunctions represent there being some kind of discrepancy between the situation at hand and the response or the outcome. So another way that I could interpret this is that you may be having an emotional response to the end of this chapter or to the reaching of a certain goal in your life, which doesn't seem to marry with what you would have expected yourself to be feeling now that this chapter has come to a close. Now, this full moon in Leo in your 1st house could see you finally saying goodbye to a former version of yourself. So maybe you used to carry yourself in a certain way or have certain goals or dreams, and now you're moving through to a new chapter in your life. On the 16th/17th of February, depending where you live in the world, we will see Venus and Mars form a conjunction at 16 degrees in Capricorn in your 6th house. Because Venus rules over your 3rd house, which represents contracts, and we've got Venus ruling over your 10th house, which represents your career, you could be signing a new contract, or you could be joining a new team at work or changing departments or industries altogether. You could become your own boss, you could hire more employees, or you could be welcoming new co-workers on board. Now, another way that this could play out is that you may be taking on new responsibilities in the workplace or some sort of new project. And this could require you to work on a new communications piece. You could have to learn new technology, or perhaps you are having to work in a small team. Now, another way that this could play out is that you could be incorporating something new into your daily routine, or this could be a new health regime that is starting for you. And I just want to say that conjunctions indicate a new chapter beginning, so this has new moon energy to it. And also, Capricorn is a cardinal sign, which is associated with starting something new as it is. So this new daily routine or this new health regime could involve you working out from home, as represented by Mars ruling over your 4th house, or this could be you learning a new language, as indicated by Mars ruling over your 9th house, and maybe you are signing up to a new app like Duolingo, where you have to do these little language exercises every day. Now, you could be reading or writing or creating new content, or perhaps you are doing yoga every day. That's another way that this could play out. Lastly, this would be an excellent time for you to start something new, or for you to form a new habit and really integrate this into your life. Lastly, for the month, on the 24th/25th of February, we are going to see Mercury in Aquarius in your 7th house, squaring Uranus in Taurus in your 10th house. So this can see you having a disagreement or an argument with another person with regard to what you're doing at work, what you want to do with your career. It could be about your reputation as a whole, even if it is not associated with your work. or this could be to do with your long-term plans for the future, an event that you either want to participate in or organize, or this could be an argument or a disagreement about some sort of investment that you have or a form of passive income. And I'm saying that because the 10th house is connected to your career and your reputation, and the 11th house, which Mercury rules over, is connected to your long-term plans and goals for the future. Now, because Mercury rules over your second house, which represents your finances and your resources, you could be having a disagreement with another person about your spending habits or about a valuable or a possession. Now, the reason why I'm saying that this would be an argument or a disagreement is because Mercury represents communications and square aspects represent there being some kind of conflict or challenge which needs to be overcome. Now, this transit is not to be feared, and that is because around the 24th and the 25th of February, we are also going to see Mars in Capricorn sextiling Neptune in Pisces, Venus in Capricorn will also sextile Neptune, and Mercury in Capricorn will sextile Chiron. So there is an opportunity here for you to heal a relationship, smooth things over, and really come to an understanding within this relationship that you have with another person. And so, Leo, that's all I have for you for February 2022. If you'd like to purchase your 2022 yearly horoscope, you can do so by clicking on the link in the description box below. I hope you enjoy your month ahead, and I will see you guys next time.